Welcome, and thank you for joining us today for this video. My name is Mac Ehrhardt, Chairman of Albert Lee Seed. I'm joined by Jake Hansen, who's our product manager, and in this video, we're going to talk about Viking conventional non-GMO soybeans. Jake, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
You bet. Thank you, Mac. My name is Jake Hansen. I've been with Albert Lee Seed now for 15 years, and about the last 10 years or so serving as our corn and soybean product manager, working very closely with Mac, helping him take over kind of overall product selection for our Viking corn and soybeans. Also manage all of our testing, both public and private research on all of these varieties and all of our corn. Really helping present what we feel is one of the strongest, conventional non-GMO corn and soybean lineups that we can possibly offer.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. And just a word on that. So the Viking brand is 100% focused on conventional non-GMO corn and soybeans. That's all we do. We also have another brand called Blue River, which is an organic brand, which is also conventional non-GMO. And so since we're not licensed for traits and we don't sell traded products, our entire attention is breeding, testing, producing, and bringing to our customers the best possible conventional non-GMO corn and soybean products. And I think we've got the yield data to back up our assertion that we have a lineup that really is as good as anything you can buy on the market, if not better. In this section, we're going to talk about Viking non-GMO soybeans from a 2.7 to a 3.5. And if you are interested in earlier soybeans, please check out one of our other videos or call your dealer, whom you can find on our website, or call us directly.
All right. Thank you, Mac. Kicking off this section with very strongly, I feel, with an extremely heavy hitter here with the 27B4. For those of you that remember this variety from a couple of years ago, we actually launched this one back in 2024. But we had a production issue last year for this year in 25, and we lost it. Thankfully, we've kind of remedied that here for going forward for 2026 and brought it back to life. And for good reason. This is an extremely high yielding variety at that 2.7, as we call out there, first place, Central District, Iowa State, 76 bushels. It is no slouch. And this is one that moves. It moves from eastern Nebraska all the way through Ohio and into parts of Pennsylvania and as you get out towards the Atlantic. It just an overall widely adapted variety. Push this one south as an early variety as you get into that group 3 maturity. Don't feel bad about it. It's going to keep up with yield with a lot of things around it, and it's proven that year after year since we've launched it. Really, really like this bean. I think it is a great addition or a great companion to our 2418 variety that we talked about in a previous video. As you move into that central Iowa, into Illinois region, very, very strong overall yield, strong disease resistance, so white mold, brown stem rot, IDC. You can plant this one very confidently on both good, healthy acres and even those tough acres that tend to have that yield ceiling. I think this one might push you to a whole nother yield level as we move across those zones.
Thanks, Jake. So I'll grab the next bean and also talk about a couple other things that are going on this slide. So first of all, you'll notice the badges are different on these two soybeans. So Viking 27B4s are guaranteed to be 99% free of GMO. Actually, they're much better than that. We won't sell them if they have any more than 0.5% GMO, but we didn't want to create yet another badge. So plant these beans with confidence, knowing that they're very clean and you don't have to worry about them causing you problems for marketability. I want to contrast that yellow pure badge with the ultra pure badge on the Iowa 3054s. The Iowa 3054 is a true high protein yellow hilum soybean that are only being used in food type markets, and so those have a higher standard for purity. So we guarantee this soybean seed to be 99.9% free of GMO, and so that gets the ultra pure label. So the other thing I'll call out is that the 27B4s are sold 140,000 seeds per unit, where the Iowa 3054s are sold 110,000 seeds per unit. So please pay attention to that when you're ordering seed. I'll talk a little bit about the Iowa 3054. As I already mentioned, they're a true food bean. Typically have proteins 43, even higher than 44%. Most of the time, if you're planting these, you're familiar with them. Most food companies that are contracting them are very familiar with them. And you're going to give up a little yield to something like a 27B4. But 3054 is no slouch for yield for a yellow hilum high protein. It's been a competitive yielder. It does have stacked aphid tolerance, which in years where we have aphid problems is a pretty big deal, actually. These stacked aphid tolerant beans where it has two different genes, you probably never will need to spray them for aphids because the aphids cannot mutate around the stacked aphid tolerance. And this one other thing about this variety, it's a food type soybean out of Iowa State. And it does require a license before you plant it. And so when you order seed from us or from a dealer, they will email you a link and you can go sign that license online. Did I miss anything there, Jake?
No, I don't think so. The only other thing I'd call out on it, the standability on that 3054 is really exceptional compared to, for those of you that remember the old 2188, which tended to fall on its face oftentimes in late season. This one kind of fixed that. I think it stands exceptionally well. It is a very eye-catching, very attractive looking bean as we move into the fall.
Thanks.
And just to go back to that 27B4 just briefly here, as I said before about the yield potential on this one, as you can see here, as you move across from Iowa all the way to Illinois and into Ohio, this thing, it really is no slouch for yield. And I put our 2418 in there too, just to show you that it is a really good companion product. Those two, I think, are a great 1-2 punch at that maturity. And really don't take a backseat to anything in terms of yield.
Yeah, note that not all these trials, but most of these trials combine conventional non-GMO soybeans with Roundup Ready to Extend or Enlist soybeans. And so you can see that 27B4 and 2418 are competing with the best available soybeans in the market.
Yeah. All right, up next, a pair of brand new beans for the Viking lineup here. This is the latest we've ever had beans. Am I correct, Mac? This is the latest maturity we've ever gone conventionally.
Yeah.
I think we're starting to see a little more pickup as we move into some further south zones like Group 3, getting more calls for it. And so we felt it was the right time to bring what we feel is a pair of good products to fill some of those needs. Starting off with the 30B6 at a 3.0. This bean actually jumped to the very top of our research trials here last year in 2024 for yield, 68 bushels across, 3 or 4 locations from Nebraska to Illinois. So it was really no slouch. It out yielded some of the best traded beans that I could find to put with it in those trials. He got out of the ground extremely quick, showed a lot of heat and drought tolerance last year in some of those dryland acres. So overall, I think this is a great addition and a strong performer that is going to complement that 2.7 very well as we get into that Group 3 maturity. I think, again, those are going to be a nice 1-2 punch for yield and performance as we move into a little bit later maturity zone that like I said, traditionally we've not seen much of. So very, very happy with this bean in that it's available for us to give to you guys as a true conventional soybean.
Thanks, Jake. I'll talk about the next variety. So the reason we added a 3.5 food soybean, which is far beyond the range where we have traditionally sold conventional non-GMO beans in terms of maturity, is that we have some of the food soybean companies ask us, hey, can you guys find us a better later mid Group 3 food type soybean? And this is a nice high yielding variety with pretty good all around agronomics. It doesn't bring quite as many bells and whistles in terms of disease resistance, although it does have decent BSR, brown stem rot tolerance and cyst tolerance and iron deficiency chlorosins. But the main reason we are bringing it is it's yellow hilum, it's large seeded, has pretty good protein. Our tests so far have generally been above 41%. We're doing more testing on it this year. This is the first large-scale production we've had of the variety. I don't know if it's going to consistently hit 42, but it's going to we're going to have this variety for a few years to see if there's uptake from the food soybean companies, because of course they're the tail that wags the dog as far as we're concerned, because there's no reason to plant these unless you have somewhere to sell them. So that's why we launched it. We're hopeful that this variety will be picked up by some of the food companies, but it's brand new and it sometimes takes a few years for that pump to get primed.
Right. And I will say it's not just a whim that we're doing this. We have been, both Mac and I have been in conversation with some of these end users that have been showing some interest in this bean. So I think, like Mac said, that's kind of the reason why we've decided to launch it here in the Viking lineup and get it out there and see what kind of attraction it brings.
All right, that concludes this section on Viking Non-GMO soybeans. If you'd like to hear about some of our earlier soybeans or our corn, there's other videos you can click on and watch. If you have questions on any of these varieties or would like to order some seed, please call your dealer, who you can find on our website, or you can call us directly. And with that, I would like to thank you for joining us.
Yep, thank you very much.